Shana Tova, it is so good to be with you virtually. I want to tell you this morning a story that when you hear it, you may well scratch your head and say, why is he telling us this story? What does this story possibly have to do with me? What does this story possibly have to do with us? And I want to make the case that this strange story from long ago has everything to do with all of us. In October of 1973, the singer and songwriter Leonard Cohen was not doing well. He was, in fact, hating his life. Leonard Cohen struggled with depression. He struggled with addiction to drugs like LSD and acid. He had had a child out of wedlock, a woman not his wife, and he very much struggled with monogamy. He also felt creatively stymied, that he wasn't able to produce music that he loved anymore. He had lost the joy of performing. He felt at the age of 39 that he should just retire, in his own words, that he should just shut up. Now, while Leonard Cohen was in the throes of this personal crisis in October of 1973, Israel was attacked in the Yom Kippur War on October the 6th, 1973. As you all know, Israel was unprepared for this war. Its Air Force, which had been so dominant just 6 years earlier, had no answer for these new Russian anti-aircraft missiles. Israel's ground troops suffered horrendous casualties in the first 10 days of the war. It was truly a scary time. Moshe Dayan wondered out loud whether this might be the end of the Third Commonwealth, the state of Israel. These two stories, Leonard Cohen's personal crisis, hating his life, and Israel's national crisis, maybe, God forbid, the end of the Third Commonwealth, they came together because for some reason Leonard Cohen decided to go to Israel during the war. Now, he went to Israel without a plan. He went to Israel with no idea what he was going to do once he got there. He went to Israel because he was running away from his own life. And on the first day that he is in Israel, he goes to a cafe in Tel Aviv. And he's sitting at the cafe, literally thinking, what am I going to do now? What are my next steps? And then, as fate would have it, a group of Israeli singers walked by, and they happened to recognize him as Leonard Cohen. And one of the women who was in this troupe of singers, a woman named Alana Rovina, who was in 1973 one of Israel's most famous singers, she says to him, wait a minute, are you Leonard Cohen? And he says, I am. And she says to him, what are you doing here now in the war? And he says, to be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm trying to figure it out. And she says to him, well, it's good that we meet because we're about to go to an army base in the Sinai. And we're about to sing songs for Israeli soldiers in between battles. And we would love to have you join us. And he says, well, it's interesting, but I didn't plan on performing. I don't even have any instruments. I didn't bring a guitar. Now, this whole incident is captured in a fabulous book that just came out this year by the Canadian-Israeli journalist Matti Friedman. Matti, M-A-T-T-I, Friedman. It's called Who by Fire, Leonard Cohen in the Sinai. And as Friedman relates the incident, somehow this troupe of singers finds a guitar for Leonard Cohen, and he joins them, and he goes to an Air Force base in the Sinai called Hatzor. And the first day that he gets there, he does two performances. At the first performance, he sings some of his classic songs, Bird on a Wire, Suzanne, So Long, Marianne. And he sings, and it's good, and it feels right and helpful. And that's the first performance. And then there's a break between performances. And something happens to him during that break. He realizes that he is singing songs to soldiers. He is looking in their eyes. He's looking at their faces. And they don't know whether this is the last song that they will ever hear. And he doesn't know when he's singing to them whether this is the last song they will ever hear. And as a result, like the enormity of the moment, I'm singing to soldiers who are about to go off to battle, and they may die in battle. And I'm the last song. All of a sudden, it causes a new song and a stunning melody and a stunning set of lyrics to just pour out of him. And in between the first concert and the second concert, this song, it's called Lover, Lover, Lover. And when he starts the second concert with the second group of soldiers, he's looking at their faces, and Lover, Lover, Lover just pours. And the lyrics are, lover, 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 come back to me, 7 lovers, lover, 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 come back to me, and may this song set you free. May this song be a shield to protect you against the enemy. Now, Leonard Cohen was a Kohen, descended of the priestly class. And he took that very seriously. And he felt that the ancient priests could protect the people through their words and blessing. And in a deep way, he felt that his song could protect these soldiers from dying in battle. And he sang it with conviction, and it landed with great impact. And so it would go. He would sing Lover, 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 as well as his other songs every day for the rest of the Yom Kippur War. Now, after the Yom Kippur War, he never talked about his time in the Sinai. But he did keep a 45-page manuscript that nobody knew about. It was a lost manuscript. And Mati Friedman, in the course of doing the research for his book, discovered it, and he got permission from the family and the appropriate authorities to publish it, and he does in this book. Now, why am I telling you this odd tale about Leonard Cohen in the Sinai? What does Leonard Cohen's experience 49 years ago in the Sinai desert, what does it have to do with our Rosh Hashanah now? And I think the answer is a lot. Leonard Cohen was depressed. He felt stuck. He felt stymied. So the question is, when we feel stuck, how do we get unstuck? When we feel depressed, what can help us emerge from our depression? When we're not feeling good about our lives, we're just waking up, we're not feeling good about our lives, what are some moves that will enable us to feel better about our lives? And Leonard Cohen in the Sinai teaches us that one very effective response to all those questions is help somebody else. We get out of our own rut when we can help somebody else. We get out of our own depression when we help somebody else. We get out of our own negative energy fest when we can help somebody else. After all, he did not write Lover, Lover, Lover after going to an artist's workshop in Aspen. And he did not write Lover, Lover, Lover after going to Canyon Ranch. He literally wrote it on a dusty Air Force base in the middle of a war, looking at soldiers who did not know if they were going to return from battle. And he writes in his journal, he writes, I went there to raise their spirits, and they raised mine. So my question to you on this Rosh Hashanah day 1, what's our version of that? Who can we help? Whose spirits can we raise? And by raising their spirits, they in fact raise our own spirits. One of the most effective ways to get out of our own down spiral is by helping somebody else, raising their spirits, which will raise our own. But there's another thing about the Leonard Cohen dynamic that's just so fascinating. The language gap between Leonard Cohen and the Israeli soldiers was real. Leonard Cohen spoke English. He did not speak Hebrew. The Israeli soldiers spoke Hebrew. Most of them did not speak English. They literally did not speak the same language. And yet when he sang his songs, it landed. How did they transcend the language barrier? And the answer is, they didn't need to understand his English because they understood his humanity. His songs were plaintive, melancholy, wistful seeking because he himself was plaintive, melancholy, wistful seeking. And he famously writes in this song called Anthem that there is a crack in everything. Cracks are where the light gets let in. He didn't have a perfect offering. He had his demons, and he had his depression, and he had his sorrow. And he was able to channel that and bring that to his song. And those soldiers had their own cracks. And the cracks are where the light gets let in. So the question is, how can we use our cracks? How can we use our demons and our doubts and our torments and our sorrows to help connect with and to lift up other people who are going through similar things? And when our cracks let the light in, then a beautiful healing can begin to set in. Now, the years after Leonard Cohen's experience of the Sinai marked his most productive period. Before the Sinai, he was creatively blocked. He said he should shut up. But after the Sinai, he composed his best music. And one of the best songs he ever composed is, of course, Hallelujah. And Hallelujah is one of the most famous songs ever composed. It has been recorded over 300 times by artists as diverse as Justin Timberlake, Bon Jovi, and the Canadian tenors. Here's my question for you. We all know Hallelujah. We've all heard Hallelujah. What explains its lasting appeal? And what explains why 300 diverse artists would choose to record Hallelujah? What's the secret sauce of Leonard Cohen's song? And I think the secret sauce, this is my thesis, he raises a question, to my knowledge, that has not been raised before. And it's a very granular question. Here's his question. King David is the author of Psalms, according to tradition. And the most famous word in the book of Psalms is Hallelujah. Leonard Cohen's question is very simply this. When did King David first say Hallelujah? And what was the life circumstance that first prompted Leonard Cohen to say Hallelujah? What first brought Hallelujah out of his lips? What first brought Hallelujah out of his soul? And here's what's so fascinating about Leonard Cohen's song. If you actually listen to the lyrics, King David does not say Hallelujah on a good day. He does not say Hallelujah at any of the high points in his life. Not when he slays Goliath, not when he's so popular, not after a military victory, not when he's made king. He doesn't say Hallelujah then. According to Leonard Cohen, and I think this is why it's such an enduringly popular song, King David says Hallelujah at the lowest of his low points. King David says Hallelujah after he falls in love with Bathsheba, and it causes her life and her husband's life and his family life and his kingdom's life to go into a tailspin. He says, oh my God, what did I do? What was I thinking? I fell in love with Bathsheba. I ruined her life, her family's life. I ruined my life, my family's life. I ruined my kingdom's life. I traded everything for nothing. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And in the depths of what's wrong with me, out of the depths of his depression, he says, Hallelujah. Hallelujah is not the song of victory sung by the unscathed, because there are no unscathed. There are only scathed. Hallelujah is the song of strength sung by the scathed. Hallelujah is the song that says, despite it all, life is worth living. Despite it all, life is a beautiful thing. I've been down, I've been out, but hallelujah, I am not giving up. And after his lowest low, King David still said hallelujah. And after his lowest low, Leonard Cohen still said hallelujah. Leonard Cohen in the Sinai teaches us that we could be stuck in a rut. We could be in a depression. We could be filled with cracks. And there is still a hallelujah in all of us, in each of us, just waiting to get set free. Let's set our hallelujah free. King David set his hallelujah free. Leonard Cohen set his hallelujah free. Help somebody else. That will set your hallelujah free. Use your brokenness, use your cracks to let the light in and connect with other people. That will set your hallelujah free. Let's set our hallelujah free. Shana Tova.